here and we're going to be checking out a very exciting pedal today from Chass Bliss and their collaboration with Meris effects. It's their CXM 1978 reverb pedal. It's part of their Automatone series. So it has these fancy motorized faders which fly around when you change presets. It's very exciting. I've gone ahead and created a couple of presets of my own that I really love the sound of. I'm going to be playing through this Strymon Iridium because I wanted to give you guys the idea of what it sounds like with an ampless rig, and it lets us hear this reverb pedal in its full stereo glory as well. So here we go. I'll play the dry signal just going through the Iridium for you. Here's my first preset on the 1978, which is a bit of a room reverb. I'll go ahead and turn the mix up. So these controls here can seem scary at first. It's actually a really simple workflow. Your mix, you've already heard what that does. Goes full dry to full wet, so if you're using it in the studio on a send, you can have that set to max. And that's also a kind of a cool effect that we'll get into later when you use longer reverbs, even live, not in the studio. You've got bass and mid controls over here, which actually control the reverb time in those frequencies. So if I wanted a nice, long, warm room reverb, for example, I might turn that bass up a little bit. And you can hear that as I turn that up, there's this bloom in the bass frequencies of the room. Same with the mid-range here, so if I turn that up, you hear that kind of flinty kind of slap to the sound. So that's cool. It's like almost like an old kind of oil drum reverb. And if I want to get more into that vintage world, I can hit this arcade style button here. Right now, each of these arcade buttons has three different parameters depending on the color of the light. So if the light's off, we're on hi-fi mode here. Standard mode is blue, and that sounds a bit warmer. What this button's actually doing is reducing our sample rate. So in lo-fi mode, that's going to be the most sort of vintage sounding verb. Now, treble is exactly as it sounds. The higher we go on that fader, the brighter it is. And the cross fader here, basically, when we turn it higher up, we're hearing more of the extended mid-range. And it's in the upper mids that we're hearing that emphasis. If I turn that down, we get this beautiful, long, lower mid-range bloom. So even on that first setting, I'm just on the room setting here, and I'm getting insane amounts of variation with my reverb. So let's go into the second preset now. This one I was trying to simulate a spring. So you can hear that lo-fi kind of ringing and that clanginess, especially if I turn the mids up. And when I turn the mids up like that, you can hear the tank mod, which is another arcade style button here. So it introduces a bit of pitch wavering. You hear that jump in pitch. So that's that modulated plate reverb. Turn the mix back down a bit. And the time. Yeah, really cool. All right, the third preset I did was for a really kind of long atmospheric verb. You can hear I've put the tank mod on the medium setting. We're in hall mode. So you get a few different mod variations there depending on which setting you've got it on. Let's turn the pre-delay up. And the time down. So even though that's quite a washy reverb sound, by turning the pre-delay up, I'm able to get a clear attack on my notes, but still get this great clarity on the reverb sound. So it works great with a bit of drive. I'll just turn the drive up here on the Strymon. So many great guitar sounds to be dialed in with our treble, our bass and mid length controls, and just where those mid frequencies sit, where the emphasis is. Super awesome. I don't really know another reverb pedal that sounds this good and lets you have that full stereo image. And this is no amp either, just the Iridium, so it's unreal. Let's plug in a synth and a drum machine so we can hear this reverb pedal in a few more contexts. All right, so I've got my OP1 here, and I've made a couple of loops with some drums and some synth things, just so we can hear how this sounds in more of a synth or studio context. So I'm just going to hit play on these drums. Here they are dry. And we'll start with this room reverb. A little bit of bass. All right, let's jump to another preset. So I'm on the lo-fi mode here, and with this arpeggiated pattern, my pre-delay almost becomes like a delay pedal. My pre-delay is going to control the time. Oh, so awesome. All right, next preset. Awesome. It's going to be hard to get me not to buy one. CXM 1978 Reverb, part of the Automatone line, collaboration between Meris and Chass Bliss audio effects pedals. And it's available now in store and online, so come and check it out. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let us know what your favorite preset here is. See you next time.